Hey Berclair Bears, this is Mrs. James, and I'm really excited that we get to learn together today and we get to do some math. I'm super excited that specifically today we are going to be doing some problem solving with fractions. As I look at this picture of some of our homeroom students, please know that I miss you and I love every single one of you. I miss all of the students that I get to teach and every single third grade student at Berclair. Please know that you are loved and you are so special, and we're really grateful for the opportunity to get to teach and learn alongside you guys on YouTube. Before we get started with the lesson, we have some online norms. Number one, please focus. It's really important that you do your best to watch and listen so that you're able to learn as much as possible. Number two, rewind the video if you are confused or you need something repeated. Number three, record your learning on your paper. Number four, reflect on your learning in the comment section of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you a math problem, a challenge that you are going to get to solve on your own. You will comment on YouTube your response and explain a little bit how you solved to get your answer. You will see some of these symbols in our time today online. When you see the pause symbol, that means to pause the video. If you see a pencil, that means that you will be able to write on your piece of paper. If you see this brain, you are going to be stopping and thinking. Lastly, if you see the comment at the very end, you will be posting your thinking in the comment section. The materials you will need today are a pencil or a marker or crayon, something to write with, and a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be totally blank like this. See if you can try to maybe you can write on the back of a notebook piece of paper, or even if there's a little bit of writing on it, that's okay. You just need a little bit of room to write and show your math work. Number three, if you still have your fraction strips that we used earlier in the third quarter, they should still be in your red folder. If you have your fraction strips, those would be great to help you with the lesson today. If not, no problem. We are going to start by watching a short video. As you are watching this video, I want you to think, what do you notice and what do you wonder? You might even recognize someone in this video. Did you guys notice anyone in that video? This person right here is Mrs. James. I had some students that were really excited to get to pie me in the face. They worked really hard on a test, and as a reward, they got to pie me in the face. So our problem for today is going to be about that pieing Mrs. James in the face. Our warm-up for today says, would you rather pie Mrs. James in the face with half a can of whipped cream or 1/4 a can of whipped cream, and why? I'll read that one more time. Would you rather pie Mrs. James in the face with half a can of whipped cream or 1/4 a can of whipped cream, and why? Please pause the video. And as you pause the video, I want you to draw a picture to help you solve. Please make sure you are also writing a number sentence and a word sentence to explain your thinking. When you're done, you can push play. So we're going to go over this warm-up now. I noticed that the two fractions we're comparing are 1/2 and 1/4. I know that the first picture shows 1/2 because this is my whole, and if I take the whole and cut it into 2 equal parts, you get to throw one of these 2 parts in my face, and we call that 1/2. Down below, I can draw another rectangle and split it into fourths, or 4 equal parts. Now, as you look at these two pictures, which piece or which fraction is larger? That's right, 1/2 is larger than 1/4, or we can say 1/2 is greater than 1/4. So you got to pick here. Some of you may have said, I would rather pie Mrs. James with 1/2 a can of whipped cream because I want her to have more whipped cream on her face. Now, maybe if you're nice, you would say, I would rather choose 1/4 of a can of whipped cream just because I don't want Mrs. James to get that messy. But either way you picked, as long as you explained your thinking, that is great. So we're going to go on with this whipped cream in the face problem, and I'm going to read this problem for us. Each student had a plate with some whipped cream on it. Some students got to pie Mrs. James in the face. You might be thinking to yourself that you have some questions. You might be wondering some things about this math story. Has Mrs. James given you enough information to solve anything? That's right. This is called a numberless word problem. You have some more information that you need. I'm going to give you a little bit more information. Each student had a plate with 1/4 of a can of whipped cream on it. Some students got to pie Mrs. James in the face. So we are given a little bit more information now. Now what questions do you have? And what do you wonder? What information do you think Mrs. James needs to give you in order to solve this problem? Let's read it again. Each student had a plate with 1/4 of a can of whipped cream on it. 12 students got to pie Mrs. James in the face. Interesting. Now, what question can you ask about this math problem? The question that we're going to ask is, how many cans did Mrs. James buy to have enough whipped cream? I want you to pause the video, and as you pause, I want you to draw a picture. Draw a picture trying to figure out how many students will share one can. Once you know that, think about what you can continue to add to your drawing to figure out how many total cans you need in order for 12 students to pie Mrs. James. Please pause the video, and once you are done drawing, you may click play and we'll go over it together. So let's go over this problem. I know that each student gets a plate with 1/4 of a can of whipped cream. So each unit represents 1/4 of the whole can. Now, students, how many fourths make up one whole? That's right, 4/4 make up one whole can. Let's count the fourths together. Count with me. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Great, so 4/4 equals one whole can. So those are 4 students pieing Mrs. James in the face. Did only 4 students pie Mrs. James? No, we need some more whipped cream. So if we add another can, looking at these 2 fraction strips now, how many total students does this show have pied Mrs. James? If 4 students shared the first can and 4 students shared the second can, how many total students is that? You're right, so far we only have 8 students. Did just 8 students pie Mrs. James in the face? No, what do you think we should do? Great, let's add another fraction strip, adding some fourths. Let's count the total fourths. Count with me. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, 9/4, 10/4, 11/4, 12/4. We have 12 total fourths. Now, students, how many total cans were used? How many total cans were used? Mrs. James bought 3 cans of whipped cream. I have 3 whole cans. Awesome job. Now we're going to take a quick brain break. How many jumping jacks can you complete in 30 seconds? I want you to go ahead and stand up. If you're sitting on the couch or sitting in a chair, go ahead and stand up so you have some room. As soon as you hear me say go, I want you to try to count how many jumping jacks you can complete. Ready, set, go. Bet some of you are moving super fast, lots of jumping jacks. Awesome job, 10 seconds left. Keep going, keep going. 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. I bet some of you got 30 jumping jacks. Did anyone get more than 30 jumping jacks? Did anyone get 40 jumping jacks? Very nice. All right, go ahead and take a seat. If you need to take a deep breath to catch your breath, some of you may have been working really, really hard. Go ahead and do that now. All right, here we have our next problem. I wonder, what do you think this problem is going to be about? What do you notice and what do you wonder? Take about 5 more seconds to look at the picture, look at the ingredients. What do you think we might be doing or using with this information? That's right. Some of you may have seen that we have a picture of slime in the top left corner. And this says per batch. And I see down below we have some Elmer's glue, some baking soda, some water, and some shaving cream. What do you think we're going to be making? This is a recipe for slime. Excellent. So as you're looking at this recipe, what do you wonder? What questions do you have as you're looking at this recipe? One question I have is, do I have enough ingredients to be able to make a whole batch? Or maybe you want to make more than one batch and you want to know how many ingredients you will need or what ingredients you will need. Here is your challenge. If you want to make 2 batches of slime, what ingredients will you need? Please draw a picture and use number sentences to explain. So students, this is where you're going to pause the video. Once you look at the ingredients, we have 2/3 cup of Elmer's white glue, 1/2 a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 a cup of water, and the last ingredient is 2 to 3 cups of shaving cream. If those are the ingredients for one batch, what ingredients will you need if you want to make 2 batches of slime? Go ahead now and pause the video. Once you show your work on your piece of paper, please comment below on the YouTube video explaining the different ingredients you think you'll need and how you know. Once you're done with that, you can come back to the video and press play. Students, I had so much fun learning with you today. Thank you so much for joining this YouTube video and learning alongside Mrs. James. Now, if you have had me, if I'm your teacher, you know that we say these 4 things every single day before we leave the classroom. I love you, I believe in you, I miss you, and hopefully I will see you soon. I love you guys. I hope you are doing well, and I will see you shortly.